Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It's time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning, Moore County. Time once again for the Truth and Freedom you only find here at WEEB. You certainly don't find it at the Pilot, and you don't hear anything from anybody else in the county as far as what's going on factually at the school board and other aspects of county administration. So, yeah, make sure you tune in. I think John Zumwalt's coming in for the second half with a couple more candidates, or one candidate, for an interview. So get your apple fritters and your coffee and sit down at the kitchen table and listen up.
Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's up and running at our websites at talk973.com or talk1041.com or weeb990.com. Top middle of the page is where you'll find a link for the audio video if you're looking just for the audio by itself. In other words, our normal stream. It's in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages where the icon says On the Air Listen Live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. And if you got a streaming app rolling, well, you can put WEEB in the search and we should appear at the top of your results. It'll say live. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. Well, we're approaching the very, very nice stuff. Let's see, a little changes since yesterday. For today, partly cloudy, 85. Tonight, clear and 59. Friday, mostly sunny and 87. Getting right back to summer, aren't we? Friday night, clear and 63. And then the change comes starting Saturday. Will be partly cloudy with a 50-50 shot of showers. Not a washout, high of 82. The front is coming through during Saturday. For Saturday night, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower as the front pushes out of here. And then Sunday, the cool, crisp fall weather you've been waiting on. Sunny with a high of 68. Monday, 71. Tuesday, 74. Wednesday, 75. But trust me, shortly after that, it'll go back down in temperature. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are west at 1. Pressure is 2978. Dew point 62. Humidity 89%. It is foggy and 66 degrees still here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Alrighty, it is 7:36, 36 past the hour on this Thursday morning. Let's dive right into our sound bites this morning, unless the Colonel has something in particular he wants to talk about.
No, nothing.
Straight to sound bites. All right. Well, we'll play the best of the overnight Unique Boys to see if they can pop a smile on your face.
That the FDA just authorized e-cigarette products for the first time ever. Yeah, it was a big win for all 3 people waiting for FDA approval to start vaping. Yeah, it's been a busy week for the FDA. They released new guidance that's aimed at drastically cutting the amount of salt in the food we eat. In related news, McDonald's said, it's going to be a problem. Meanwhile, I saw that the head of Europe's top meat processor said that due to climate change, beef will eventually become a luxury product. In related news, McDonald's said, that's not going to be a problem.
The fast food chain Wendy's has announced a new partnership with Google to implement artificial intelligence to improve the quality of their restaurants. And if you want the chili, just click on Feeling Lucky.
Yeah, we're rolling in the floors on those. Well, as you may have heard or seen, William Shatner broke down when he returned from space. He got a ride yesterday up to space, at least to the edge of it, and then came right back down. It was a 10-minute flight. He told Jeff Bezos, "What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I hope I never recover from this. I don't want to lose it." Here he is.
Everybody in the world needs to do what you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary. I hope I never recover from this. I don't want to lose it. It's so much larger than me and life. And it hasn't got anything to do with the little green planet, the blue orb, and it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the enormity and the quickness and the suddenness of life and death. Oh my God, I am overwhelmed.
Hey, you get up there and you don't have to look through a camera at the universe anymore. You can see it for yourself. Imagine it is a profound experience. Well, let's go from that to the dumbest guy on earth. A video has gone viral of a guy trying to pet a wild warthog and getting knocked on his backside, yelling for help. You ever encountered a warthog?
No, I don't think so.
It's not clear if he was injured. We're also not sure where it happened, but it appears to be South Africa.
He's going to come up the steps. Oh, my goodness, and he's huge. Wonder if we can pet him.
No, don't.
Hello, boy. Help me! Help!
Yes, I wonder if we can pet them.
What a dope. Wild pigs, etc., whether it's a domesticated pig that gets out and goes wild. Somebody on the eastern part of the state here in North Carolina released Russian boars. I've seen them out and about, and you don't want to get on the wrong side of any of them, because they are not going to sidle up to you to be scratched behind the ears. They're going to try to damage you as best they can. And those tusks that, if it's a warthog, probably had some pretty good sized tusks. They're loaded with all kinds of bacteria and germs, etc. So they stick one of those in you, you're going to have a infection problem. So, you'll wish you had the COVID instead of that.
All right. What was the name of that movie where the guy got thrown into a pig pen and the pigs ate his face off?
Oh, well, that's been in a lot of different movies. That is an effective way to get rid of your hard evidence, is to throw somebody into one of those, or a dead body into a pig pen, and they will disappear.
Well, they'll reappear in a new form.
No form that you'll be able to put with them.
Diarrhea. A woman. Some good news. A woman getting married was brought to tears of joy during her wedding when her son, who was a member of the United States Army, showed up at her wedding after 3 years away. Here's the moment when Khalees Parrott's son surprised her.
Who gives this woman a card for this?
I do.
It's all right, baby. It's all right. It's all right. Let's continue. It's all right. Tears of joy. It's happy. It's good.
Let's see. For that fact. Anyway, I don't know what it said. It was the, get up here, Windows, and give me what I need. All right. It was the Squid Game that's on Netflix. It's turned out to be the most viewed program ever on Netflix. And we knew it would happen with the huge success of Squid Game. Netflix is ready to roll out a brand new spinoff from that. Here's the trailer for it.
In my town, we had a game called the Squid Game.
We're gonna put poor old Squidward to rest.
Welcome to the final game.
Time to find some other game to play.
You'll both be playing Squid Game.
Oh! What the heck was that? Look what you've done to me! Oh.
Sorry, but it's It's just a game, you know.
Let the game resume.
Our old pal Squidward, he's pushing up Daisy.
Oh, Squidward, we all came as soon as we were sure you were dead.
I'm alive!
Aw, tartar sauce.
All right. Apple is exploring the possibility of AirPods being able to do things like take your temperature or let you know when you're slouching. Wonder what it would say, how it would sound. And is AI getting a little too personal?
This is Siri in your earpods. Your temperature is normal. Stop slouching. I'm not a fan of CeeLo. Why don't you play anything by The Weeknd anymore? Adele bums me out. Your missing AirPod is in the couch cushions. The results of AirPod brain damage are not in yet.
Okay. Wasn't as funny as I thought. Today is Be Bald and Be Free Day. Bald heads on dudes have really grown in numbers over the past couple of decades. Now, a bald head is a fashion statement. And the ladies agree. Here's a little ZZ Top.
Fast car, make the scene. When I step out, I look like Mr. Clean. Tattoos, both arms. I look real tough, but I will kill you with charm. I use the same stuff ladies use on their legs. Every girl's crazy for a shiny bald head.
Well, we've heard all the headlines so far today. Let's check in with the not headline news.
This is not headline news. 90-year-old William Shatner went to outer space on a Blue Origin rocket yesterday. His first words when he returned to Earth, "My diaper's full." The trailer for Scream 5 has been released. The scariest part is that plastic face Courtney Cox has gotten. AMC is making a spin-off of The Walking Dead called Tales of the Walking Dead. The series takes place in a world where every TV executive with an original idea has died. A Chucky TV show premiered this week. He's the mass-murdering doll who looks like John Gruden, but as it turns out now, is much nicer than John Gruden. This is not headline news.
What? Go ahead.
Nothing.
All right, 2/3 of Americans working from home can't recognize anymore. Can't recognize any of their coworkers. 7 out of 10 felt isolated, being away from the workplace. Plus, after a year and a half, people returning to work look differently. Some have gone gray, shaved beards, changed hairstyles, and more. What's it like returning to the office these days?
Hey, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Weird being back in the office.
Mm-hmm.
But at least free coffee again.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I guess it's back to listening to the stupid boss again.
I am your boss.
Yeah, it's about right. You see a bunch of people you don't recognize. Somebody was just a voice on a computer.
Yeah, you say, you don't sound like you do on the internet. That's what you get all the time out there. I'll get people say, oh, I recognize your voice. Why, of course you did. Canadian woman loved a home so much, she decided she didn't like her neighborhood, so she decided to uproot it and float the house across the bay to own it. The process took 8 hours and 6 boats to get the job done. Here's Denali Penny talking about why she wanted to float this house across that bay.
Now that I was given the opportunity to take it and move it to our own location and make it our own family home is more than I could ever dreamed of. See if it can withstand the water, and if it's meant to be over there, it's meant to be, and according to yesterday, it was meant to be.
Okay. And the crowd of people who thought eating iPods was cool, I have a new sensation they're trying to achieve. TikTok users are being warned against the new trend called scalp popping. You ever heard of this?
No, I don't think so.
It involves pulling your hair in such a way that your scalp pops or makes a cracking sound.
Okay.
Experts say the popping sound derives from the soft tissue between the scalp and the skull popping off the skull, which can cause internal bleeding and infections.
Well, let me guess. A Democrat figured that out sitting in his basement here the last 2 years.
No, this was a Biden voter. Yeah. Here's a little clip of people attempting this dangerous trend after voting for Biden.
You like twisted it, and then you run around your finger twice.
Oh my God, I'm scared of you.
Ready?
Yeah, go.
Oh, ew. Hell, I don't like it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and it was so fun and funny. Now a little more squid music news. Road sign in England is raising eyebrows because it has symbols on it that look eerily similar to the symbols on the popular Netflix show Squid Game. Authorities say it's just a sign showing different routes that you can use during road work. But it gives us a chance to play their theme song. And how exciting of a song is it?
I have no clue what Squid Game or whatever it is.
You still got Netflix?
I do, but
check it out.
This is not going to interest me, and no, I am not going to Netflix to find Squid Game.
All right. Well, here's something easy we can do, Colonel. Let me pull this up here. Okay. A list of sounds that were trademarked has come out, and I got 9 of them here. They're all in one take, but we're going to stop it on and off so you can hear it, and you tell me what the sound's from. First one will probably be the only hard one for you.
What? What are you talking about?
That was the Mockingjay whistle from the Hunger Games. That sound's been trademarked. All right, this one you should know from another TV show.
Okay, fine.
Dough! Whoops, not ready for the dough.
Well, The Simpsons, and the other one was one of those law TV shows or
Law
something.
and
I have no clue.
Order. All right, this one's real simple too. You'll get this.
Oh, I'm supposed to guess what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's from that's the guy with the black Nazi helmet.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Star Wars. Darth Vader's breathing.
So these things have all been trademarked, so
Right.
you can't just go use these anymore.
Right.
Okay.
I
didn't know you could trademark sounds.
I didn't either till I got this article. Here's another sound from Star Wars. Tell me what it is.
Well, that's the little sword thing they have.
Yeah, that's the lightsaber, yeah. All right, you'll know this one instantly because you lived when it was actually on TV. Today, I guess it can't be for all sorts of political correctness reasons. Here we go.
That's Johnny Weissmuller there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's specifically Johnny Weissmuller.
Right. And that was Tarzan's yell in his 1932 movie.
Right. But that's Johnny Weissmuller, not any of the other
Clowns.
imposters.
Like this next one, this is Tarzan the Ape LeaderMan 7. That's what this one is.
You've got.
Back up. That's why I don't like them all in one take. Okay. This one right here.
You've got.
That was the duck from Aflac. Of course, you know this one.
You've got mail.
Right. All right, and the last one. Let's see if we can get this. That's 60 minutes. Yeah. The Hoo is what we're looking for.
Oh, I don't know which one that is.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Okay.
And here's a bonus. Do you know his official name?
No.
Poppin' Fresh.
Good. Great name.
I know we made your day with all that. All right, some things. Oh. Here's something crazy. James Gunn wants to make a Gilligan Island movie where the castaways get desperate and start killing and eating each other. But the estate of the show creator will not let it happen. And Gilligan Island is saved.
What knucklehead would want to do that? I mean, what a...
Look at the garbage they produce in Hollywood. Why would that surprise you?
That's just one of the iconic TV shows. There was a time where 24 hours a day somewhere in the world, Gilligan's Island was being broadcast. I don't know if that's still true or not, but just the thought of somebody coming up with that concept, that guy should be taken out and clubbed or something.
Do we ever see it on TV around here?
I don't know if I'm sure you can find it if you want.
Or has it got too many PC problems in it?
Well, around here, yeah, maybe that's true. But, I know back in the 80s, 90s, it didn't matter where you went in the world. If there was a television and something being broadcast, it was probably on that television.
All right, some things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid. The Rolling Stones are now dropping the song Brown Sugar. Why, you ask? They're dropping it from their No Filter tour because the lyrics are said to explore the horrors of slavery as well as sexual assault and drug use. It was the second most popular song on their tour.
All right, so what are we going to cancel? Hip-hop and rap music and pretty much everything else, hopefully? God, please do that. Jesus, come on. No kidding.
Stripe away someone's iconic song. That's stupid.
Well,
what do you think they're paying all that money to go see?
That's everybody. Half the iconic quote. Well, if you want to call them that, iconic rap songs. That's what it's about. That's those subjects. So yeah, get this stuff out of here. Get out. Just go away.
All right. Other things we need to know today. Oh, by the way, they say that Charlie Watts laid down tracks for a couple of more songs before his death that they've had for probably a couple of years, that they may be doing new songs around. We'll see. In San Francisco, Walgreens is closing more stores. Want to know why? Due to organized theft problems, where all the clowns come in with their backpacks on, clean stuff off the shelf. They roughly estimate how much they got. They stop under $1,000 and leave, so it's still a misdemeanor. And nobody stops them, and sell it all online at big discounts.
I'm not sure why there's any store in California, period.
Yeah, if they're not taxing you to death, they're allowing the jerks come in and steal it from you. The hell with your investment. They don't care about it. It's not a big enough thing to even go out and find a bad guy for them. And be thankful you don't live in New York City. Why? Because Thanks, Biden. $5 a gallon now in New York City for gas. And here's since I graduated in economics, I'll give you a free fact for you. Economic fact. When oil goes up and gas goes up, inflation goes up on everything. So it's not local, it's not just gas that went up, everything went up. It's just a law of the past and a law of the future. And he wants you to go out and wear your little beanie and spin your blades. I saw a dramatic film, I guess it's video of one of those windmills that caught fire. Got so hot it caught fire. And how quickly it disintegrated. And once again, he'd be better than Biden. Dwayne Johnson is not ruling out a run for president. Well, he had a pro wrestler governor for 4 years.
A steroid-laden knucklehead. That's what we need.
Russia is testing out a nasal spray that is a COVID vaccine. Then there's the mom who gave her toddler her phone to
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy fog for your morning. Mostly clear start to your day. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with highs today warmer back in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We're in the low 60s Friday morning. We'll see a mostly sunny sky for Friday afternoon plans, even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A strong fall cold front brings scattered showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sandhills, 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A Texas federal judge blocking United Airlines from placing unvaccinated employees on unpaid leave if those workers are seeking a religious or a medical exemption to the airline's COVID vaccine mandate. It's a question being asked more frequently in the midst of the supply chain meltdown. Where is Transportation Secretary Buttigieg? We haven't heard from him lately, at least not on issues relating to the supply chain crisis. The White House blames private industry and not government policy for the trouble. President Biden saying that steps are being taken to correct the situation.
The Port of Los Angeles announced that it's going to begin operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This follows the Port of Long Beach's commitment to 24/7 that it announced just weeks ago.
Negotiations drag on between the White House and congressional Democrats in hopes of getting a compromise on a multi-trillion-dollar spending bill. A Danish man accused of killing 5 people in a bow and arrow attack in a small Norwegian town. Police say the suspect, a Muslim convert, previously flagged as having been radicalized.
Witnesses spoke of a man standing on a corner with arrows in a quiver on his shoulder and a bow in his hand. Images on social media show arrows stuck in the wooden walls of houses. People ran for their lives as police blocked off the scene.
The BBC's Charles Haviland. California firefighters managing to keep the fast-moving Alisol fire away from former President Reagan's ranch northwest of Santa Barbara.
We expect that for weeks you will see, if not months, you'll see fire crews out there putting out hot spots on this fire.
Santa Barbara County Fire Chief Mark Hartwig telling KEYT that blaze has charred more than 15,000 acres. Checking Wall Street, Dow futures up 258 points. NASDAQ futures 140 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Tell me why Relief Factor is so successful in lowering or eliminating pain. I'm often asked that question. Pete and Seth Talbot, the father and son founders of Relief Factor, tell me they believe our bodies were designed to heal. The doctors who formulated Relief Factor selected the 4 best ingredients, 100% drug-free ingredients that each help your body deal with inflammation. Order the 3-week quick start now. Discount it to only $19.95 to see if it will work for you too. Call 800-500-8384. ReliefFactor.com.
Angie's List is now Angie, and getting your to-do list done just got easier. Between back to school and with the holidays around the corner, it can feel like there's no time to tackle home projects. Whether you need help with emergency repairs or major upgrades, Angie matches you with top local pros who can get the job done right. Browse reviews, see upfront pricing, and instantly book hundreds of projects. Save time for what matters most. Book your next project at Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
The death toll from a fire in southern Taiwan that engulfed a building overnight has risen to 46, according to officials who say at least another 41 people were injured.
The fire broke out in the middle of the night. Some heard a loud explosion. It took firefighters 4 hours to bring it under control. Residents, some of them old, some with disabilities, were trapped in their homes in the upper part of the 13-story building. The lower section used to house restaurants, karaoke bars and a cinema, but they've long since been abandoned. Firefighters said piles of unused items blocked access to the building, making the rescue operation more difficult.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. At least 3 people dead, many more injured during a protest in Beirut by Hezbollah and its allies against the lead judge probing last year's massive explosion in the city's port. The exchange of fire involved snipers, pistols, and rocket-propelled grenades. News and analysis at townhall.com. Facebook expanding harassment guidelines with the goal of protecting public figures, including politicians and celebrities.
Under the new policies, Facebook will bar content that degrades or sexualizes public figures, mirroring existing policies covering private individuals. In addition, Facebook is adding protections for government dissidents, journalists, and human rights activists around the world. The changes come a week after former Facebook data scientist Frances Haugen told Congress,
"The company's leadership knows how to make Facebook and Instagram safer, but won't make the necessary changes because they have put their astronomical profits before people."
I'm Mike Gracia.
Disaster response officials in the Philippines say that a tropical storm has left at least 19 people dead. The storm triggering landslides, flash flooding as it barreled over the northern tip of the Asia-Pacific islands. Once again on Wall Street, Dow futures up 261, townhall.com.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
This is Dr. Terry Ann Sams from Sandhills Weekend Dental. Here we grow again. I am excited to introduce Miss Nancy, our newest team member.
Hello, my name is Nancy. I will be assisting Dr. Sams in your care. I look forward to seeing you.
Call Sandhills Weekend Dental today at 910-687-4423.
Eat, kiss, and smile better.
Days are getting cooler, leaves are changing colors, and pumpkin lattes are beckoning us at every corner. It's fall, y'all, making it the perfect time to get ready for the holiday season. And Aberdeen Carpet has got you covered with the beautiful sale from Shaw. Spruce up your home and save up to $1,000 on select Shaw flooring now through November 15th. Whatever it is you're looking for, Shaw Floors has it. Hurry into Aberdeen Carpet today, located on Highway 5 in Aberdeen, near Habitat for Humanity. Open 9 to 4 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Visit us online at aberdeencarpet.com or call 910-944-6204 to schedule your free estimate.
Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care. Clean, professional heating and cooling. Carolina Air, the friendly guys. Service, installation, and regular maintenance. Unbeatable, dependable every time. So CarolinaAir.com. Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care.
Fall is here, and Carolina Air wants to remind you that now's the best time to tune up your system before the chilly days of winter arrive. Have the peace of mind knowing that your system will hold up when the temperatures go down. Right now, take advantage of Carolina Air's $49 fall tune-up special and get 10% off their indoor air quality products. Get started today. Call 910-684-3864 or visit CarolinaAir.com.
Carolina Air Comfort and Safety, because we care.
Football season is back in session, and Rudino's Pizza and Grinders has your Sunday night ticket. On DirecTV, get a small grinder, side salad, and a bag of chips for just $5.99. Or try our renowned pizza, voted the best in Spectator magazine. Visit Rudino'sSouthernPines.com to see our complete menu and specials. Make Rudino's Pizza and Grinders your Sunday football sanctuary, located on Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines.
If you're like me, you have to be diligent about watching your weight every single day. Despite how well you watch your weight, the one barrier that's always standing in your way is the belly fat you just can't seem to get rid of. Despite your best efforts, it's always there. Well, now there is a way to get your body to release the fat stored in those belly or thigh fat cells. It's the Ultra Slim Fat Melting Method, a non-invasive, non-surgical body sculpting treatment. This is a light therapy treatment, and the best part is you're guaranteed to lose 2 inches in your waist, hip, or thighs in a 32-minute treatment. I know it works because I've done it. What have you got to lose besides those 2 stubborn inches? Dr. Sharon Wright with Wright Chiropractic in 7 Lakes can give you all the details. Why not set up an appointment by calling her at 673-2225. That's 673-2225, and tell her Steve sent you. And finally say goodbye to your stubborn belly fat.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. Congressman Greg Murphy brought together local leaders and environmental science experts to hear about current threats to the eastern part of the state and plans for possible outcomes. ECU professor Dr. Reed Corbett told WITN.
The fact that we have all of the representation, county commissioners, our legislatures at the state, our congressional representatives in one room listening and hopefully acting on what we're doing. Doesn't happen very often. I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
There is a major gridlock at ports across the country, and it's driving up prices, and that's threatening holiday shopping plans. Several major shippers are trying to expand their working hours. CBS's Carter Evans has that.
Union rep tells me dock workers are ready to work around the clock. In fact, it's already in their current contract, but all these extra hours, well, that's going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to be expensive. And the union says change doesn't come easily when it affects the carrier's bottom line.
The ongoing legal battle over public school funding will again be before a judge in the next week. State Democratic House Leader Robert Reeves was asked if this issue could derail the overall delayed budget process.
North Carolina at one point in time was getting it right. So I think we should use ourselves as a roadmap.
For easy operation. More than 10,000 Deere and Company workers went on strike last night after negotiations failed to come to an agreement. 35 years have passed since the last major Deere strike. Workers are emboldened to demand more this year after working long hours throughout the pandemic before companies are facing worker shortages. It's fair time after the North Carolina State Fair was canceled last year amid the pandemic, but this year it's back with a theme worth the wait. State Fair manager Ken Yelverton told NCN News.
Zero tolerance. Every ride here is inspected. Every ride has to meet all specifications of the manufacturer.
You're listening to NCN News.
Are you a military veteran or service member in transition? Did you know that you've acquired skills that are transferable to a career in the life sciences? Your skills can position you for the fast-growing medicine manufacturing field in North Carolina. Your discipline, leadership, attention to detail, and problem-solving skills are all highly valued by medicine makers, where you can continue to serve others in your civilian career. Discover your next adventure at ncbiotech.org/military. That's ncbiotech.org/military.
If you or someone you know has been the victim of a crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Services is here to provide support. The office provides a range of free, confidential services to help you regain yourself, receive compensation for damages incurred, protect yourself and your family, and move beyond the stigma of being victimized. Visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
A milestone energy bill that targets sharply reducing greenhouse gas emissions from North Carolina power plants has become law. Governor Roy Cooper signed the legislation on Wednesday. The House Committee on the January 6 riots is due to question 4 ex-members of the Trump administration this week, but some are refusing to comply.
This all comes as the committee sharpens its focus on former President Trump's knowledge and actions leading up to January 6th. CBS News confirmed former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen sat for an 8-hour interview with the Select Committee Wednesday. The committee has also subpoenaed Jeffrey Clark. He's a former top Justice Department lawyer who, according to a Senate Judiciary Committee report, was allegedly involved in efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
This week is North Carolina Oyster Week. It's recognized to honor the oyster farming industry in the state. Roy Emerson, the owner of Roysters NC in Beaufort, has been in business for 4 years. He told WNCT.
This past year, it gave a little bit of a more boost than it has in the past years as far as income, dollar-wise, but it's creating jobs.
In Rome today, there was a discussion regarding empowering a new generation to fight human slavery.
The U.S. Embassy to the Vatican hosted a discussion on human trafficking and youth today. Chargé d'Affaires Patrick Connell.
Human trafficking is a global crisis and a source of untold suffering. It's estimated that over 25 million people are affected by human trafficking around the world.
Over 70% of sex trafficking and forced labor are women and girls, and nearly a third are children. The U.S. has committed more than $340 million in the last 2 decades to combat human trafficking. Sabina Castelfranco, CBS News, Rome.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Hello and happy Thursday. We'll see another beautiful day ahead. A mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky for the afternoon. Warm temperatures as well, with highs today mainly in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight to in the low 60s Friday morning. Friday afternoon, we'll see another mostly sunny sky. Warm again with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A cold front arrives on Saturday. It'll bring scattered showers, but then turning cooler and sunny for Sunday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sandhills area, we have fog and 66 degrees. Humidity 89%, dew point 62. Pressure is 2977. Winds are calm, gusting to 2. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sandhills news for this Thursday morning. Moore County Sheriff's Office is warning citizens of a recent scam involving Moore County inmates. The office said that on at least 2 occasions, inmates of the Moore County Detention Center or their family members have been solicited by a person posing as a bondsman to get their loved ones out of jail for a reduced price on a bond. The solicitor, who is using an alias, requests that the bond payment be in the form of prepaid cash cards like Green Dot or Dollar General. Licensed bail bondsmen in the state of North Carolina should not require payment for a bond in the form of prepaid cash cards of any kind. If you have questions, call the Moore County Sheriff's Department, their detention center at 910-947-2980. And First Health of the Carolina invites residents of Moore, Richmond, Hoke, Montgomery, and Lee counties to participate in the 2021 Community Health Needs Assessment. The purpose of the assessment is conducted every 3 years and is to understand the concerns and needs of the communities across the region and use these insights to create action plans that optimize the health and well-being of all residents. The survey will be open through December 31st. You can check the First Health website for the link. And Moore County deputies and Moore County Probation Parole Division seized heroin, methamphetamines, and a firearm and drug paraphernalia after a search of a home at 100 block of Warren Road in Carthage. This according to a news release. Stephen Singletary, 50, and Elizabeth Ritter, 35, both of Carthage, were arrested on Tuesday and are facing several drug charges. Singletary and Ritter both charged with possession of methamphetamines and other controlled substances and drug-related charges. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sandhill Sentinel, and you can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:17. Sports is next here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
Your morning sports report is brought to you by Hughes Supply of Pinehurst. With over 50 years' experience, Hughes Supply can handle all your plumbing project needs from start to finish. Call 910-295-5541 or visit them online at HughesSupplyPinehurst.com.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. NHL action last night was abound as the league opens the new season this week and a return to a traditional calendar. William Nylander broke a tie at 106 of the third period and sent the Maple Leafs past Montreal Canadiens 2-1 in the opener for both teams. Bowen Byram scored his first NHL goal and added an assist to lead the shorthanded Colorado Avalanche to a 4-2 win over the Blackhawks. The Avs were without star center Nathan MacKinnon and head coach Jared Bednar. Both are in the COVID-19 protocol and away from the team. Kyle Turris scored the shootout winner, and the Oilers beat the Canucks 3-2 last night. And the Washington Capitals made last night's season-opening 5-1 win against the division rival New York Rangers memorable. Alex Ovechkin scored the 731st and 732nd goals of his career and passed Marcel Dion for sole possession of 5th place on the NHL goal list. It puts him a couple steps closer to Wayne Gretzky's record. One game into a new 5-year contract, Ovi needs 163 goals to break the Great Ones record that has long seemed unbreakable. Also last night, Anaheim 4-1 winners over the Winnipeg Jets. Carolina Hurricanes open the season tonight at home at PNC Arena against the New York Islanders. It has been a long preseason camp. Head coach Rod Brindamore says they're ready.
Yeah, I think everybody is. I think it's it's fun to watch some games last night and then know that they count for real, and you could see the good hockey. So I think we're all practiced out, so to speak, and guys want to play.
Puck drop between the Canes and Islanders at 7 tonight from PNC Arena. Panthers head coach Matt Rule says Christian McCaffrey is 50-50 for their game on Sunday against the Vikings. C-Mac has missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury. Panthers have lost both without him. Rule thinks the decision will come right up to game time. This is NCN Sports.
Fighting cancer is tough on the best day, but imagine a cancer diagnosis without access to affordable health insurance. If you are uninsured, you have a 60% greater chance of dying from that cancer than if you were insured. Care for Carolina is committed to providing more insurance options and health care access. Covering the uninsured means better health for all of us.
Go to care4carolina.com to find out more. That's care4carolina.com. Care for Carolina, expanding access, enhancing prosperity. North Carolina retailers are the backbone of the local economy, and now you hold the power to help them rebound faster by spending your dollars in North Carolina. Our retailers' first priority is the health and safety of their employees and customers. So please be patient with retail employees, especially if they ask you to wear a mask. In most cases, they are required by law. The NC Retail Merchants Association proudly represents these dedicated retailers and encourages you to shop smart and shop NC. Learn more at ncrma.org.
Everybody expected a playoff series for the ages between the century-old rival Dodgers and Giants, and we've got what we wanted. The 2 best teams in baseball separated by just 1 win, and it will be just 1 win that decides who moves on to the NLCS. Tonight, Game 5 between the Dodgers and Giants in San Francisco. Giants manager Gabe Kapler says he doesn't plan on any surprises in the lineup.
I think you can expect the guys that we normally have in there against quality left-handed starters in our lineup tomorrow. I mean, there's some ordering stuff and some positioning stuff that we always have to work through, but I don't anticipate any big surprises there.
The Giants are going with Julio Urias for Game 5, while the Giants send righty Logan Webb to the dish. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
As our economy gradually reopens, remember to support local.
Know you're doing the right thing and stay proud.
Be a part of the greatest comeback of all time with Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
When it comes to Medicare, choose hometown coverage created by hometown people. First Medicare Direct offers comprehensive plans for as low as $0 a month and includes extras like dental, vision, hearing, prescription benefits, and more. Plus, when you have questions, you never need to go far. We have a local office in Pinehurst. Compare plans at firstmedicare.com/FMD22 or visit our local office to learn more. First Carolina Care Insurance Company is a health plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in First Carolina Care depends on contract renewal.
Fast, fresh, and always great tasting, the Daily Combo Special from Honey Baked Ham for only $7.99. A terrific and tasty lunch sandwich from Honey Baked Ham, accompanied by a side and drink for only $7.99. Make it a Honey Baked Ham Day with their $7.99 combo.
Replacing a roof isn't just shingles, it's a complete engineered system. At Elite Roofing, we recognize the importance of that system. We're certified installers of all the roofing products we use, with over 28 years of experience and superior Superior Residential and Commercial Roofing. New roof, re-roof, and repair. We stand behind our work with a product and craftsmanship warranty. Call 910-757-0505 today for a free estimate or visit our website at eliteroofingnc.com. That's 910-757-0505.
It wasn't long ago when residents in the Sandhills had to call 2 different companies for plumbing or heating and air conditioning service. But Fields Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning was the first to offer all 3 services and still do. At Fields Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning, it's our goal to offer customers fast, dependable, and creative solutions to your home and business needs. Experience counts. Call Fields Plumbing and Heating and Air Conditioning 910-949-3232. 910-949-3232.
Hey folks, Celeste here from Whispering Woods Golf Club. Come on out and see what all the buzz is about here at Whispering Woods Golf Club. We have some great rates going on until the end of November, so don't miss out on your opportunity to play Ellis Maples' one-of-a-kind gem here in the Sandhills. We are also offering our lifetime memberships. Come see me to see what we can do for you. Live the dream. Play affordable golf. We are also offering to our active and retired military memberships until the end of the year. $225 a month, unlimited, all-inclusive golf, or $800 if paid in full. So come on down to Whispering Woods Golf Club, located at 26 Sandpiper Drive, Whispering Pines, or give us a call at 910-949-4653. And don't forget, book it, Dano.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
This is the perfect time of the year to bust out all your Echo tools and equipment from Beaver Equipment. Thanks to all the storms, my new Echo chainsaw from Beaver Equipment has been getting a good workout. Beaver Equipment is the place to go for rough and rugged Echo equipment for real men. They offer 5-year warranties and are locally owned and operated. So men, get out there and enjoy your Echo Power equipment from Beaver Equipment, Highway 211 in Aberdeen, 910-944-0402.
For the second year in a row, Pinehurst Toyota has been awarded the Pilot's 2021 Best of the Pines Service Department winner. The Toyota Service Department opens Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call for an appointment at 910-212-5984 or go without an appointment. We also have pick-up and drop-off service, and the first 2 years or 25,000 miles are covered by the Toyota Care Program. We don't just service Toyota and Lexus, but foreign vehicles and domestic vehicles too. The Toyota Sales Department opens weekdays from 9 a.m. to 7:30, Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and noon to 5 on Sunday. Call us during business hours at 910-692-2424. We're located Highway 15501 in Southern Pines. And thank you for voting for the Pilot's Pinehurst Toyota Best of the Pines Service Department and Sandhill Magazine Best Dealership in Moore County.
From the WEEB Community Calendar, the Pinehurst Civic Group and the League of Women Voters of Moore County will be hosting a Pinehurst Village Council Candidate Forum on Tuesday, October 19th at 7 p.m. at the Assembly Hall in Pinehurst. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, attendance will be limited. The forum will be live streamed online and a replay will be available afterwards. To view the live stream, go to VOPNC.org. That's VOPNC.org. Then click on the live stream link in the upper right corner of the page. Learn more about your Pinehurst Village Council candidate tickets on Tuesday, October 19th. New York Deli is a slice of the Big Apple in Pinehurst. Located in Olmsted Village, New York Deli offers authentic New York bagels and a full breakfast menu until 11 a.m. Looking for lunch? There are 33 signature sandwiches to choose from. New York-style pizza on Wednesdays and Fridays, and now offering Meatball Mondays. New York Deli is open weekdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit Moore County Takeout and Delivery Options Facebook page for our menu updates. Call 295-2264 for takeout, or have your order delivered via DoorDash, Grubhub, or Easy Bites.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time. With Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM. WEEB.
The Zumwalt Zone is proudly sponsored by Moore County Citizens for Freedom. Always looking out for you.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I know that young people will not believe this, but in the old days we had one telephone per house, and all you could do was talk on it. It had a cord, and you couldn't get far away from the wall. I actually remember the phone ringing at our house, and no one wanted to get up and answer it. Now, if someone gets a text or a call, they'll break their neck looking at their phone. I firmly believe that if you saw a guy doing CPR on someone and you texted that guy, he'd stop and check his text. As a matter of fact, if the guy who was getting the CPR got a phone call, he'd say, listen, I appreciate it and I'll be right back with you, but let me get this call. I know that young people will not believe this, but I remember a time when Superman was not gay. In fact, no one knew or cared what kind of lifestyle he preferred. We just wanted to read or see Superman, a superhero saving people. It was fun. Now, everything is an opportunity for the left to influence our society, and it seems to be working. Pretty soon, and I'm not kidding, it'll be faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive. It's super, whatever he's identifying as today. We've got to start answering the call to save our kids. If we don't, I don't know who's going to do it. It looks like the guy in tights isn't going to show up and help us. We can't depend on these fantasy superheroes. We've got to do it ourselves. Mostly moms and dads. Have a good day from the Zumwalt Zone.
Good morning and happy Thursday. We're seeing some patchy fog for your morning commute. Otherwise, a mostly clear start to your day. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky with highs today warmer back in the mid-80s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We're in the low 60s Friday morning. We'll see a mostly sunny sky for Friday afternoon plans. Even warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s. A strong fall cold front brings scattered showers on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Hello, friends.
This is gonna be sweet.
Sweet Tooths rejoice. Today is National Dessert Day.
Are you ready for some dessert?
Are you ready for dessert?
You ready for some dessert?
I love dessert.
Treat yourself. It's National Dessert Day.
Dessert then.
Dessert.
I got a sweet tooth.
Happy National Dessert Day.
I want some dessert.
Dessert? It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of Sandhills. Time once again for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Good morning, Moore County. Time once again for the fresh air of truth and freedom that you find only here at WEEB. Time for John Zumwalt and his interview. So too late, you missed out on your walk. Time to sit down with your apple fritter and coffee.
All right. 66 degrees right now here in the Sandhills area. And live with us this morning is Congressman Dan Bishop. John Zumwalt's here also. Good morning, John.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Congressman Bishop.
Good morning, John.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time asking you about your background because folks here know you, and you've been in our station a lot, and so I think you're pretty well known and well liked in our county. One of the things I want to ask you about at the very beginning is your vote against the National Defense Spending Act. I've heard from quite a few people, Congressman, and all of them seem to be very happy, including me, that you stood up and voted against this. Could you speak about that for a minute?
John, I appreciate it. I want to make sure it's clear. This bill, it's one of these must-pass bills in Washington, funds all the military operations, continuation of weapons programs, provides a 2.7% pay raise to soldiers. But the problem, John, is it contains a very problematic red flag law, which talks about if somebody gets, frankly, some domestic abuse situations, but also even if there's an allegation of a sexual harassment, somebody claims that a soldier sexually harassed them, they can enter a military protective order with all the things people are accustomed to, with those where you have to stay away and not use any violence. But if such an order is issued, it shall contain a provision that bars a military member from possessing or accessing any weapon, his own weapon, or a weapon that he uses in the course of the service as a special operator, for example. He doesn't get to be heard on that for as long as 30 days. The order can last for 180 days and be renewed forever. That provision's in the bill, John, and members of the Republican conference were told that it will come out in conference with the Senate. But I don't have any confidence that that's the case, and we have leverage here because of the radical Democrats. They need Republican votes. We should never provide those votes until that kind of crap comes out of the bill. And then there's one last thing to say about it, John, because I know you want to get to a bunch of topics. But there's also another provision in there that hasn't even been promised to come out, and that's what they call about extremist activity. They can drum people out of the military for engaging in extremist activity, but that term's not defined. It's left entirely to the Secretary of Defense to define what that means. Is it a Trump supporter? Who knows? So that's horrible stuff, and I urged Republicans not to vote for it. I was in the minority among Republicans. Most Republicans did vote for it.
Well, I'm glad you didn't vote for it, and I love hearing the passion in your voice and the anger in your voice and the concern in your voice, and that brings me right to another topic. Our amazingly brave, and we are very blessed to have this man as our lieutenant governor, and of course, I'm talking about Mark Robinson. He is catching a lot of heat right now, and the conservatives don't seem to stand with our own sometimes. In fact, a lot of times we're ready to just toss them aside at the very first gunshots fired, metaphorically speaking, before they start investigating me. Do you stand with Mark Robinson, and do you in any way publicly support him? And what about the rest of the Republicans in Congress? Where are they to help this good man?
Mark Robinson is one of the most magnificent leaders to emerge in North Carolina in my lifetime. He probably eclipses, as you watch, it may be going overboard, but Jesse Helms, even political figures as big as Jesse Helms, Jim Hunt, I think Mark Robinson in time will eclipse them all. He is a remarkable guy. I am 100% in support of him. What he spoke to, even though he said the media uses their constant method of twisting, he was talking about feeding garbage to children, filth, as he put it, and he was 100% right. I've shared the video that he subsequently put out on Facebook in order to express my support. I've texted him and said, I have your back. Whatever you need, let me know. But you're exactly right, John. Things won't change until conservatives stop being afraid of their own shadow, stop being afraid of the condemnation of the radical leftists. But he's a fantastic leader, and I'm with him, 100%.
You've been outspoken about Garland and his targeting of parents, and there is no way that we can read this, Congressman, except directly targeting good parents who are concerned. I think that when they're accused of, I've heard someone say in the news yesterday, they're up there actually yelling. When your child is in danger, you yell. You can't help it. And you know what Garland's done. He's targeted parents with the FBI, and you've spoken about his son-in-law. I think you said, and I liked what I read, and we knew this, but you said it publicly, Garland's son-in-law loses money if CRT is shut down. And so these parents should not be targeted. I'd like to hear you address that, please.
bunch of activity on this. I've never seen anything quite like this. The United States Attorney General sending a memo out telling FBI agents to convene meetings with community leaders across the country to supposedly tamp down on a spike in threats and intimidation against school boards and school employees. What a bunch of garbage. And to your point, somebody yells or gets angry or frankly issues a slur or an epithet in a public forum. So what? That is American democracy, and that's exactly what I wrote in a letter I led more than 30 congressmen to Garland, calling that out. But we're not done. I've joined another letter that calls out the question that you made reference to. I won't even spend any time on about whether or not the Attorney General has a conflict of interest because his son-in-law peddles critical race theory crap. But there's another letter coming. I'm right now shopping around the members of our delegation because there's more to do. I'm going to the FBI special agent in charge for North Carolina and to the United States attorneys that the Attorney General said needs to coordinate these meetings. And I'm saying I want to know where the meetings are going to be, with whom, and I intend to be there. Because if they're going to be strategizing in ways to trample underfoot the First Amendment activity of Americans, of moms and dads, I'm going to be sitting right there and I'm going to call it out. They've stepped in a world of trouble in that Merrick Garland memo, and it is unbelievable.
Well, Congressman, I don't want to ask you to give an opinion on this, but I do want to say, because our listeners know this, our school board's taken advantage of this, and they have ramped up the ridiculous security, made parents stand outside. I want to issue you a public invitation. I don't expect you to respond right now, but I'll be in touch with your staff to invite you to our next school board meeting and just let you see what's happening. And I would love it if you could come. I want to tell everybody that Congressman Hudson came to our Celebrate America that was held at the NAV, and he sat in the corner with his wife, and he sat there and listened to the speeches made by Americans who, a lot of them were immigrants, and they were telling us why they were so proud to be in America. And it was a wonderful event, and Congressman Hudson just sat there, didn't get any recognition to speak of, and spent the day there, and just as a good, solid American. He also did the same thing recently when Lee Greenwood came to town, and no one knew, very few people knew Lee Greenwood was coming. Congressman Hudson was there to help give a home to a veteran. So I know you do things like this, Congressman, and don't get a lot of recognition for it. And I want to let people in North Carolina know.
You said Congressman Hudson. I'm
Right.
Bishop, but I know what you were talking about, and I enjoyed every one of those things. The Celebrate America thing was a fantastic deal, but nothing could top being down there for Joe Bartel's and Christine's groundbreaking for their home. Those are the gifts, frankly, of this job, is to be able to come down there and be part of that. And Lee Greenwood coming in, I thought that was a fantastic thing of him. What a great American he is.
Well, I hate to hear that I called you Hudson. Not that that's an insult, but because I'm going to have to hear Joe Biden jokes all day about them. But
you and me both, brother.
But that was wonderful, and I appreciated it very much, as did a lot of people. I know you introduced the Mask Off Act. Will you talk about that?
There are a number of pieces of legislation that I've introduced to try to tamp down on the notion of mandates. I don't believe mandates for masks or vaccines are appropriately American. The Mask Off Act precludes those mandates in particular in schools. Well, let me state it a little more accurately. It provides an opportunity. I'm a school choice fan, big fan, and we've previously done a number of things on school choice. This one is sort of a targeted idea, and again, it's more like an idea because it's not going to advance in Nancy Pelosi's House of Representatives, but it allows federal funds to be made available for kids who are in districts where they're subject to mask mandates. They could go elsewhere. They could provide for homeschool, private school, whatever, and receive tuition support. That's the idea.
and as you said, it probably has a little chance to advance in the present makeup of our Congress. But I'm at least glad that you introduced that, and I want people to know that you introduced it, and that you do have an interest in that, because it's a huge subject in Moore County. Some people are masked, some are not, and I don't want to try to influence anyone either way, but I do think that people should be able to make up their own mind. You also introduced the No Corrupt Racist Training Act, and of course we're talking about critical race theory, which is we're still fighting that. The liberals use different names for that, and they make up something else, but it's a tremendous problem, and it is a problem. I just want to say very quickly, at the age of 72, I've never been afraid. Never been afraid of much in my life, but I'm very much afraid for America right now. We are seeing things that falling apart, and so can you talk about the No Corrupt Racist Training Act, please?
Yeah, and John, we took the same approach with the idea that we want. I think the signal that I'm sending is a choice in education, allowing parents to decide things, how their kids will be educated, is probably the key to a lot of the really pernicious stuff that we face. This critical race theory and all the topics, all the words, the terms that you use for it, all similar idea, where they want to move back toward Plessy versus Ferguson. They want to move back to separating everybody by race and every other way they can think of as categorizing, create conflicts among us that will hate each other. It is terrible stuff, and you're right. It's appropriate to be afraid of it. And let me say this last point, John, what you said about being afraid. One reason, I guess I've probably seen intense, and I intend to be intense. I've never encountered people as beside themselves and concerned for the future of the country and their children and their grandchildren as they are right now. I'm going to fight it out with these people who are these radicals who are trying to change America in a way that would make it unrecognizable to us. I'm just going to spend every day that I have in office doing that. And the day that I lose my intensity on it is the day the voters ought to send me packing.
Well, want to remind everybody we're talking with Congressman Dan Bishop, who is our representative, of course, to the Congress. John.
Thank you, Steve. Representative from the 9th Congressional District, which includes a whole lot of Moore County, Southern Pines, Pinehurst. Where else, Congressman? I don't want to leave anyone out.
It goes all the way, I live in a tip of Charlotte in Mecklenburg County, and then goes east all along the South Carolina border, Union County, Anson, Richmond, Scotland, Robinson, Hoke, and more.
Obviously a pretty big area, and so it's I'm very glad you make time to come down here as often as you do. And I want to remind you again, I'll get with your staff, but I'm very serious about inviting you to come observe a Moore County school board meeting. No answer expected over the radio.
Well, you know me, John. I don't dodge any question. I think the idea has merit. I don't know if the folks who are on your school board who are trying to advance the cause of freedom want that to happen, but if they do, I'm inclined to come.
Well, I'll let your staff have the details, and that will help you to decide if they'll let you in.
They may not.
They may not, and I'm not even kidding. But Congressman, you can please take as long as you need to on this one. I think if I had to pick the one thing that's upset me the most, that the man who sits in the seat where the president's supposed to sit has done, and that is leaving. It's hard for me to say this because it's just so foreign to me. Leaving Americans in a war zone, just taking off, and we left them in Afghanistan. What are your thoughts on that, please?
Isn't it? There's one thing I just want to maybe open that up, John, by commenting on, and that is to say, it's one of these weird things. I don't know if you ever heard people talk about the memory hole, the concept that came out of George Orwell's 1984, but the idea that the powers that be could make any story just disappear. It is mystifying to me how this issue of American citizens, who the administration even though they never could come up with a number, a couple 100, 200, were left in Afghanistan, how that could vanish from public view without any resolution. Do you know how many, whether they got them all out or how many there are? I don't. It's astonishing to me. How are the families of the 13 soldiers killed by the reckless handling of the Hamid Karzai airport evacuation process? How are those families coping? Does anybody care in the mass media? How about the 15 or so who were grievously wounded by those bombs? How are they? How are their injuries? Is it not astonishing that all this is gone from public view? It isn't just the latest of indictments of our media, but I don't know what the answers are because no one's pursuing it. I don't have a subpoena power, and the minority in Congress. We can send letters, but as you've seen, a lot of those get ignored or certainly slow rolled. So I think it'll be down to when we take a majority in 2023. The subpoenas are going to need to roll the first day, John. And God bless those Americans who were left behind. God bless the soldiers who stood there courageously while some of their command structure did stupid things. But America's much grievously wounded by that unbelievable mishandling of that situation by Biden.
Well, your opponents obviously will be coming after you. They will pour hundreds of millions of dollars into all these races. We all know that, and it's so important we win in 2022. I'm saying something that everyone knows. Let's talk about something else. The ridiculousness. We don't even have a border, and worse than that, we're allowing not forget unvaccinated, because we're forcing our citizens to vaccinate, but we're allowing anyone who wants to waltz across the border to come across unvaccinated, and some of them have been diagnosed, and we know they've been tested and they have COVID. We're allowing anyone from any country just to waltz across, and that doesn't even count the ones we bought from Afghanistan that we have no idea who they are, and we know they've left these bases and they are among us. And we know that some of them have got to be bad guys. Can you talk about our border, please?
John, you've covered that. Sometimes numbers numb. People get numb to the numbers. But there were some that came out yesterday. I'm on our state here. Everybody's heard now that, the encounters of illegal migrants at the border long ago, by about March, got to 200,000 a month, and they keep on going up a little bit more. That continues apace. It is an unprecedented deluge, continuing. Now, it spikes all along, but they go 1 month, and then you could adapt policies and get it sort of tamped down. But this is month after month after month. But the one part we haven't ever really gotten numbers on is how many of those are first-time comers, that aren't repeatedly encountered, and how many are being let into the United States. There was an article that emerged from Fox News yesterday that said this year so far, Border Patrol has allowed, or immigration authorities have allowed, at least 160,000 illegal migrants to be released into the United States. 70,000 since August the 6th. Think about that for a minute. If you're in a small town, 25, 30,000 people, it may be twice the size of the town has been let into the United States in illegals. And here's the one that's particularly interesting to me. It's really arcane. 32,000 via what they call parole. Parole is a thing set up so that the Secretary of Homeland Security can handle the 2 or 3 a year of odd situations that inevitably arise. Sort of a wide, broad latitude, broad discretionary power to let people in. 32,000 since August 6th. The former head of the Border Patrol says that's an abuse of that power. But here's the thing: when you release them via parole, it's bad enough to release them with a notice to appear, which they used to do, then a notice to report to their immigration office in their community they're going to, but they don't. But that's the latest thing. And then this parole status that gives them a legal status to remain, in effect, and it also gives them eligibility to work. And it's just being abused. It was never intended for that. This is, as I confronted Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the latest time he testified, I looked back at his former testimony, what he always said. And a pattern comes through to me. They're telling us in words what they're doing. He says every time he testifies, we have a plan, and we're executing our plan every day. He says that over and over again. So I said, Mr. Secretary, that's the first thing I asked him. I said, Mr. Secretary, is this the plan? And he was kind of dumbfounded, and he never did find his words really to answer it. He denied that they intend this. But I said, this appears to be your plan. You said you're executing it every day. Look at the results.
Congressman, can I ask you one question on that subject there?
Yeah.
Of those illegals that are coming into the country and being shipped around the country, are they being shipped disproportionately to red states in an effort to, in the future, turn them blue?
We don't have any visibility, and it's not for lack of asking. We don't have any visibility to where they're going because, and it's, I think, purposely set up this way, Steve. They turn them over to so-called NGOs, non-governmental organizations, charities, the Catholic relief charities, things like that are charitable, and they provide them transportation to places nobody knows where they. We don't know anything about where they've gone. Now, it may be that somehow DHS knows and won't tell us. Don't know, but I think you're going to see it showing up in your kids' schools. I think it's the number of people we're talking about. It can't just be Chicago and New York. They're going everywhere, and I think we're going to see impacts, and people are going to experience them in their lives. I'm sure media will attempt to avoid covering it, but it'll leak out. So we're just going to have. We don't know, Steve.
Congressman, in a little bit of time left, I want to ask you, what do you say to people who say this, and we hear remarks like this often, why doesn't Dan Bishop or Richard Hudson, they're congressmen, why don't they just put a stop to this? What's your answer?
Yeah. And John, I'm glad you asked. That's a great question because I see it all the time. And frankly, sometimes I feel it like I'm out there in the public and why didn't somebody stop this? It's very frustrating in the sense that I don't have the ability to stop it. I mean, we've got, when you're in the minority in Congress, you really only have the rights and prerogatives that the majority allows you to have. And that whether it's investigating or whether it's calling somebody in administration and making them change something, the only power we have is unofficial power. And even that is quite limited. We talked about media and how that is corporate media. There are these little, people know about. I get on Newsmax every time I get an opportunity to try to communicate things. I use Twitter. Twitter's full of leftists. I use it anyway. Facebook. But our paths, our platforms are not numerous, and so we rely on, frankly, John. I think the answer to that, because the people are saying, why don't you do something? And I'm doing everything I can do. If somebody's got an idea, I always want to hear it. But I think the answer is we've all, Americans, the good people of America, and there's lots of them, have to stand together. You got to keep paying attention. You got to, follow me on Facebook and Twitter and things. When you get an email with my newsletter, send it to 10 people and tell them to get on the list. We've got to spread it. It's effectively the word of mouth of the early Christian community living in the catacombs in Rome. We are the oppressed, and by these, and you can look around at the institutional control in the country, and you can see it. But we can't. It is not. There is no somebody out there that can fix this for us. We're going to have to all participate in fixing it for ourselves, and we can, and we will.
And that means everyone should vote, and they should vote for a conservative or Republican, and all politics is local, as we keep saying over and over and over. There's so much more to talk about. We're running out of time. I know that you voted against the debt ceiling being raised. They might as well do away with the debt ceiling. So our inflation's out of control. In about a minute and a half or 2 minutes, could you speak to that subject?
I think of course I voted against that. Like casually, John, they raised the debt ceiling another $500 billion.
Yep.
$500 billion. The big thing to know about that is, and this is maybe heartening. About a couple weeks before that, Nancy Pelosi brought us up to Washington for the plan to push through what they call the bipartisan infrastructure plan. It ain't that bipartisan, and it sure ain't about infrastructure, at least not much of it. That's 1.2 trillion. At the same time, they wanted to move their budget reconciliation bill, which really the right way to put that right now is that you look at it the orthodox way. It's a $5.5 trillion decade-long spending plan. It's outrageous that we can't afford it. Creates a lot of entitlements, destroys the work ethic. It's terrible. But they could not put that legislation through that week. There are these divisions on the Democratic side. There are a handful of moderates that have been pushed too far. They could not push their legislative package through. We need to keep. That's an example. We need to keep fighting. Every Republican needs to be up there. Every Republican needs to vote against each one of those bills. And we'll see. But they'll eventually, even with Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, those two, they're going to put through damaging spending legislation. They'll probably make it cosmetic. They'll conceal how much it's going to cost financially, how much the tax burden is going to be. But they'll put it through. We just got to keep fighting them and try to make sure that is known to the American people. And then, as I said, there has to be a response.
Congressman, we have no control over time, so it went quickly with you. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for the different subjects that we discussed. I'd like to encourage everyone, stand up, speak up for Mark Robinson, and thank you, Congressman Dan Bishop.
Thank you all. Thanks for the voice you provide.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back tomorrow for TSIF. Thanks, Steve. It's Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pops businesses you hear on WEEB. It's important for our own economy. You're not going to get help from Washington. Let's do our own thing here and shop local. And be sure to tell them WEEB asked you to come. All right, that'll do it. LeaderMan, Nick, and Colt the dog will all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.